the issues. And to encourage the Jewish people to accept Mashiach, to accept their Jewish Mashiach, by understanding those issues. Because those issues, they all point to Mashiach. To show them, to show the Jewish people how those issues point to their Mashiach so they can accept their king. Because Mashiach will not come back and the Jerusalem will say, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Mashiach will not come back before that happens. There has to be a critical mass of the Jews believing that he is a Mashiach. So therefore, the job of the Gentile, the best thing that the Gentile can do is to bring the Jew to faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
The best thing a Jewish person can do is to bring a Gentile to faith, so the Gentile can bring another Jew to faith. That's what Paul says, because the purpose of the Jewish people is to be light to the Gentiles. So the best thing a Jew can do is to bring light to the Gentiles to the Gentiles. The best thing the Gentile can do is to bring the Jews, that's what Paul says, so that to bring Jews to jealousy. How will the Gentile bring the Jew to jealousy? By knowing the issues, not by mimicking Jewish laws, because that will not accomplish the purpose. That will cause, you know, that'll cause the opposite thing. That'll be the opposite.
So
it's like the you know, somebody pretending something is not. You know, it's no. It's like I say I'm Korean. You know what they say? There was a joke in the 50s when the Russian pilot was asked what was the hardest thing in the Korean War. So the hardest thing was to fly the plane and pretend you're Korean at the same time, because the Russian pilots in North Korea, you know, and they said there was no Russian pilot in North Korea. So that's the same thing. You know, I cannot pretend something I'm not, right? I can just know the issues. I can be sensitive to issues and know things about the culture and the people from the outside, and that speaks volumes. That's much more powerful than pretending being something. No, just be true to yourself.
no, I get the, maybe somebody else can help me clarify, but I'm not necessarily pretending, but like I'm trying to observe and keep the things that God is saying holy, like the Shabbat.
Yes.
So with that, or with God in the past saying, you know, these foods are not holy, or you know, essentially kosher. I guess I'm trying to see what your perspective is then with those who follow the Jews with observing Shabbat, you know, sundown to sundown, and keeping that holy. So it's not exactly mimicking it if that's what the Lord has said.
Well, no. The non-Jews are supposed to mark the Shabbat somehow, actually. They're supposed to recognize that there is such a thing. Somehow. Good idea not to work. It's a good idea not to work on Shabbat, just like God didn't work. But again, it's not mandatory not to work. Gentiles can choose to work if they like.
But we still suffer the consequences.
Wouldn't Isaiah 58 tell you really what how to observe Shabbat?
So,
Again, that's for the Jews.
No, but if you read it though, it's talking more about a different Shabbat. It's talking about doing things for others and not worrying about yourself on that day.
Sure, and it also talks about the fast, yes. And it talks about in the kingdom, it'll be from Rosh Chodesh to Rosh Chodesh, from Shabbat to Shabbat. So Shabbat will be observed in certain type of capacity in the world to come. So yes, it's a good idea to observe the Shabbat, only not in that way where you cannot turn the light on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that thing.
Like,
But because, you know, but it's good to mark it somehow, to recognize it, and to, you know, make it special.
Okay.
You know, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not mandatory. Again, it's not mandatory. There are only 4 things that are mandatory that the apostles ordained. Don't eat blood. Don't eat things strangled. Don't do immorality. Don't do idolatry. These are 4 things, mandatory. No question about it. Everything else, take as you know as you go if you want. So.
Gotcha. That's what I was just.
I have a question.
She said
What
first.
were those 4 things again?
It's Acts 15. It's blood, strangled, idolatry, immorality.
Idolatry, immorality. So when they ran the chicken's neck, is that considered strangled?
I don't know.
Oh.
Why would that do that?
Because my mom grew on the farm and she said they used to wring the chicken's
I
neck.
don't know.
So it's like veal. You know how veal is? Veal,
Upside down, yeah.
the young
They
cow.
said in the news that the Pope is
Gets
supposed to
trapped
meet with
inside.
Obama or something like
I
that?
was trying to
To
talk,
make
but
it
somebody
a
stopped.
martial law, like Sundays only for worship or something like that?
He's meeting with him on the 24th, but I don't know.
Okay,
if that's
Benjo
what
had,
he's talking about.
Benjo had a question.
I don't think so.
No, okay.
Yeah. And he was gonna meet with Obama, but I don't think that'll be on the agenda. Yeah,
But, okay.
I don't think. Don't listen to everything that they say on the news.
Okay, another question. I know this may sound silly, but he says don't eat blood, right? But then when you cook steak, there's blood in there.
Well, not
Rare.
supposed to,
Don't-
not
don't
supposed to
eat
eat,
it while it's
don't
still
eat
moving.
rare, don't eat things with blood. Drain it. You can salt it, it takes blood. Salt the meat, not the steak, you salt the meat. There's way.
Yeah.
Don't eat the rare stuff. Don't eat bloody.
Just cook it, like, don't
Yeah, you don't
drink
want it moving when you bite
snake
it.
blood. There are countries where you drink snake blood
Duh.
to strengthen.
Ah.
Don't do
Yeah,
that.
I'm cool.
Don't do that, yeah.
Well, in
Don't-
Africa, they put blood.
If anybody
in
thinking
together,
about drinking
they
snake
drink
blood,
it.
don't.
So-
There is blood in our milk, but don't they cook it? They cook the milk,
They
right?
Pasteurize it.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's true.
no, I'm not talking
It's
about, I'm
about
talking
raw
deliberately, like,
blood.
if you do it by accident, you know, it'll be okay. But deliberately eating something, ordering a
Right.
blood.
Don't be a vampire, guys.
Oh yeah, the sanguine
too, like there's an evil
the
thing that they were
sanguine.
doing with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was symbolic. Because they were making like blood conjugates, stupid things.
Well, I don't think that's the reason why not to eat blood. The reason not to eat blood is precedes what they did. It's like not because of what they did, it's don't do it, and they did it, but you don't do it, not because of them, just don't do it. Because it's just there. It's Noah, it's a covenant with Noah. Noah was told, and Noah is everybody. Noah is not Jewish. Noah is all humanity. So therefore, if you go with Noah, you go to everybody. It applies to all humanity.
So if you prick your finger, with a stick and accidentally, it's okay.
You're not eating it. It's
Oh man, we're getting
This is getting ridiculous.
that's what starts happening. That's the thing. If you go into rituals, you're gonna take it to absurd.
That's something to talk about in the synagogue, right?
You're gonna take it to absurd. You know, that's the danger of it. It's absurd.
Wasn't that how they kept adding on the rules?
Yes, it can be.
Kept adding and adding and adding and
It
adding.
can be absurd.
Yeah.
Or just overbrush your teeth and there's blood.
You brush your teeth before you after. He's gonna be paralyzed. I don't know what to do. You know.
Maybe just a floss more.
Alright. Actually, I have a question. How did you come to know Yeshua?
That's another hour.
Okay.
Through my mom. Short answer, through my mom. My mom became a believer.
Okay.
Oh.
What are we doing? Okay, go ahead. Okay. Alright, guys.
Right.
Thank you so